Unit 3 exam review. In Unit 3 we talked a lot about pairs of angles, pairs formed by a transversal. For example, in the picture here we have a transversal, it's that one. That's our transversal T. And it forms 8 angles, and some of those angles have named pairs. For our first one, we look at the angle. The two angles that we have are on opposite sides of our transversal, and they're on the interior. Okay, they're in between the two other lines, so they are alternate interior angles, which is option E. And when we have parallel lines, these are always going to be congruent to each other. Okay, keep on going. For the one below that, now another one that's interior, but the difference on this one is that the angles are on the same side. So we have same side interior. And these are supplementary. I know it says congruent or supplementary. I'm just going to write CONG for congruent and SUPP for supplementary. Okay? We look at angle 3. It's a little bit different because it's not formed by the transversal. In fact, it's just formed by the intersection. And these are adjacent to each other. So we've seen this before. This is a linear pair, which is option A. And linear pairs are always supplementary. Okay. For question 4, we're dealing with our transversal pair again. Now, this is kind of like the top right? And this angle is also in the top, top left. They're both in the top left. So what we have here is that they correspond, okay? And corresponding is also congruent. I know we're moving quickly now. Now for this last question, you see question 5. Now this on the side that's outside, so this is exterior, this is exterior, which means that we have exterior angles. Now they are one is on the left side, one is on the right. That gives us alternate exterior, and these are congruent angles. Okay. Question 6. This is our vertical angle pair. We know that because they are across from each other. They're formed by opposite pairs. So vertical angles with this one goes with B. And verticals are also congruent to each other. Okay. And our very last on the front page is these. Now these are exterior angles too. Now I know it switched sides, but our exterior is here and here. Okay. Our transversal is still this one. This is our transversal. You'll notice that both of these angles are above the transversal. So that means that they are same side, but they are same side exterior, which refers to F. These angles, if their lines are parallel, these angles will be supplementary. Okay? That's page 1. For page 2, we are identifying the pair by name, and then we're going to solve for X and find the angle measure. Okay. So our pair of angles shown, that would be this angle here and that angle there. They are both exterior and they're on the same side. So this is same side exterior. Okay. So these angles are supplementary. So that means that we would have to add them up to 180. So my first angle is 4x plus 10. My second angle is 70. And if I add those together, I get 180. 10 plus 70 is 80, so I'd want to combine my like terms here and end up with 4x plus 80 is 180. How do I solve? Subtract 80 from both sides. Once I subtract 80, I end up with 4x is equal to 100. Divide by 4, I end up with x is equal to 25. Okay? Now we're not done. It says to find the angle of ACB. So I'm looking at angle ACB. And I see ACB is, I kind of highlighted the sides there. So it's that angle. It's 4x plus 10. To do this, I can simply put 4 times 25 plus 10, which is 110 degrees. Okay. Does that make sense in our context? Sure. Our original angle was 70. This new angle is 110. 70 plus 110 equals 180. Okay. All right, for question 9, we have an angle here that's 3y plus 60, an angle there that's 75 degrees. These are on the interior, but these are alternate. So we would say these are alternate interior. Okay? And since we have parallel lines, these alternate interior angles are congruent. So I can set these two equal to each other. 3y plus 60 equals 75. Subtract 60 from both sides. 3y is equal to 15. Divide by 3. Y equals 5. Okay? So I need to figure out what angle DCF is. Well, DCF is the same as angle CFE, so it's 75 degrees. If you really want to, you can substitute back in. You can say 3 times y becomes 3 times 5 plus 60, but it's the same thing, 15 plus 60, which is 75. Again, you can use angle pairs to do that as well. Question 10 says that what are a pair of angles shown? These are interior, they're on the same side, so these are same side interior. They are supplementary to each other, which means that these two angles have to add up to 180. 2x plus 20 plus 150 is 180. 20 and 150 is 170. Subtract that from both sides. 2x is equal to 10. So x would be 5. Okay. X is 5. Put that back in for x. 2 times 5 plus 20 equals 30. Okay. So there's angle ACB, 30 degrees. Now, honestly, you could have gotten that from substitution, or you could have gotten that by subtracting 180 minus 150. Okay. All right. We're kind of moving at a brisk pace. Lines in the plane. To find the equation of a line parallel, we need to use our point slope formula. Now I gave this one over here. You can also use y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. That's the way we can do this. So point slope formula using the equation of the line. I just need to make sure that I'm inputting my point correctly. Okay? And I also have to make sure that I find my slope. So when it says line parallel, that means same slope. Okay? So for question A, the slope is 2. So my slope that I'm going to use is 2. To write my point slope equation, I would write y equals slope is 2 times x minus my x coordinate, which is 2, plus my y coordinate, which is 3, right? This is x sub 1, and this is y sub 1, okay? So y equals 2 times x minus 2 plus 3. My point is 2, 3 over here, and I would draw a slope of 2 over 1 to get there, okay? Continue the pattern down here, but we get the idea. This is our line. It goes something like that, okay? For our next one, we have a slope of 4 over 3. I know that because that's what's in front of x. And our x coordinate and y coordinates here are negative. So let's look at what happens here. Y is equal to 4 over 3, parenthesis x minus x sub 1 in this case would be x plus 1. And then minus 5 because you're adding the y coordinate. Okay? So where do I end up with? Well, if I start at negative 1, negative 5, and I have a slope of 4 over 3, I've got to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Can also go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 right. 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So we actually share a point here. That's our line. So those lines actually cross. All right. For the next one, it says, are these two lines parallel? It comes down to slope. What's the slope? The first one, it's 5. For the second one, it's not 5, it's 3. No. Slopes are different. They must be equal to be parallel. Question 13 and 14, last questions here. Talked about the line perpendicular. And we did a lot of practice on this. To find the slope of the perpendicular line, you've got to take the opposite reciprocal. For our first one, our original slope given to us is -1/6. The opposite reciprocal of that would be 6, right? Because -1/6 loses the sign and flips over. So -1/6 becomes 6/1, which is just 6. So guys, you don't need to write it as 6/1, just leave it as 6. Our point here is -3, +1. So my equation will be y equals 6, parenthesis x plus 3 plus 1. Okay. For our equation on the second one, you find the slope, it's 3. The opposite reciprocal of 3 is -1/3. That's what our new slope is. So I'm going to do the same situation. Y equals -1/3 times x minus 1 minus 4. Okay? So each one of these graphs can be done the same way. So -3, 1, and I want to graph a slope that has 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. That's all I can get on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1 on this side. So I've got a pretty steep line here, but that's what I come up with. And for part B, going through 1, -4, and I have a slope of -1/3, so down 1 and 3 right, down 1, 3 right, down 1, 3 right, up 1, 3 left, up 1, 3 left, oops, up 1, 3 left. We get the idea here. Okay. So this is A, this is B. Okay. Question number 5 asks one last question. Are the graphs of the lines perpendicular or not? To do that, we need to tell what the slopes are. So we have a slope of 1/5, and we have a slope of 5. Okay. So m1 equals 1/5. m2 equals 5. Now if we multiply these together, m1 times m2, that's 1/5 times 5, which equals 1. For them to be perpendicular, it's supposed to equal -1. So these lines are not perpendicular. Okay? They have to have opposite reciprocals. Thank you guys for listening.